We're live. All right, we're live, man.
Yo, 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 what's going on, guys? We're in a building, rocking a Only Fighters shirt. I got my man Steve Ashton today. What's up, Steve?
What's up, guys?
This is GMAC 88, aka George Mechai, and we are the Locked In Podcast. It feels good to be back, man. We're doing this on a lovely Friday. It's been a hell of a week, guys and girls watching us. Yeah, so I know you guys are wondering why we're doing on Friday. Well, as many of our viewers know, and if you're a new viewer tuning in, we appreciate you. But to kind of like put you down with some games. So we do it on Friday because there every now and then there's some Thursdays that we can't do it for whatever reason, like whether it's work or some kind of event or something falls through. We usually like to do it on Friday. There's been a few Wednesdays for those that are long time listeners, but or watchers. But usually we'd like to go on Friday if we can't do a Thursday. And also we've noticed that analytically sometimes people do tune in Fridays, but it just got to be a certain time. Usually Friday nights are a little hit or miss. If you do like Friday before 7, you might get like a nice audience. Although no one really goes up before like, you know, 8 o'clock on summer night anyway, summer. But that's how we usually like to do it. So having said that, we're back for another good episode. We're episode 44 in here. And today's episode, guys, is a lot about comedy for a couple laughs. Stand-up comedy, and some of our favorite comedies and movies along the years. But we'll be talking a little bit about a couple things, not just movies, just stand-up comedy. What does it take to be, a comedian? I actually personally know a few comedians. Do you know any comedians, Steve? Like off the top of your head, you can think of that actually personal life, people that are aspiring comedians or stand-up comedians. Do you know any people?
No actual comedians on my end in general, but not in
Okay.
person, not personally.
No issue, no issue. Just was kind of wondering, just to kind of like so we can like balance it out and put some perspectives. I actually know a couple comedians in like real life. Like they might not be big time, but they get some gigs in there. And again, an inspiring comedian is kind of like a little bit of an inspiring actor. You kind of like in other words, you try to get as many gigs as you can. In as much time as you can out there to to make it to like a show, whether it's somewhere downtown Philly, in New York City, where it's kind of like one of the meccas, obviously. But if you're a late night host, type of thing, and person does radio stuff like that, or shows like that, or a comedian, you know how it kind of works a little. You know that a lot of times the shows are more like at night, in the evening, sometimes at late night, and there's really no time to wake up and to watch comedy. I mean, you can wake up in the morning, you can go to sleep watching something funny. Comedy is good for your soul. We definitely need some laughs and something entertaining. So now, also, guys, for those that don't know, this episode was kind of like put up a little bit last second. It was kind of we're thinking about some topics, and we have some stuff already lined up. So today just happened to be an open episode, right, Steve? So we're like, yo, let's do comedy. Like, oh, why not? We never really done comedy.
Yeah,
Let's go with it, and kind of like start it out.
exactly. And kind of like you said, it's just been a hell of a week, guys. Like we were supposed to go live at 2 o'clock today, and it's just a lot of stuff on both of our ends. Where just this has honestly been a week from hell. Not gonna vent my frustrations here, but honestly, just been kind of a crazy week. Like no time to breathe. So like we're still making work though. We're still going live. We're going to keep it short, sweet, to the point, about 35, 40 minutes for this episode. We usually go like super long with our episodes, which we're trying to cut down. So we're just going to keep this one like freestyling and just we're going to talk about, I guess, like some of our favorite maybe stand-up comedians, favorite maybe comedy movies, and just going to keep it short, sweet, to the point. And we'll keep it short on this Friday because we know everybody.
We'll keep it a little shorter, right? I mean, it's going to be about 40 minutes, guys, but we didn't think that it needed to be very long anyway. And plus, like you just said, Steve, we are kind of like making the podcast a little shorter for various reasons. I mean, but also as things expand, we might keep it to like about the 1 hour and a half mark. We've done some great episodes close to 2 hours, and they've been great. And I know you guys are wondering, well, then if that's the case, then we guys are short. Well, and then we're gonna keep it honest. Our views are decent, always growing. There's a couple of weeks there might be a little more stagnant and kind of a little more slow, but we noticed that we took some time off because we had to, because it was obvious reasons. We had to like build the podcast a little more, get stuff done behind the scenes, like we always talk about, but also try to modify to make it a little shorter and eventually go back to about like an hour and a half to an hour 50 minutes. Because the goal was never to go very long neither for the podcast. We never really want to make them more than an hour and a half. It's just that obviously we have guests, and while we talk, sometimes things do drag a little bit. So that's really all it is. So, and plus we had some episodes that actually were about 49, 50 minutes, 52 minutes, which is still a decent time frame. So I mean, we're still good on that. Also, so Steve mentioned about yesterday being a long day, and today being a very long day for you, bro. Same here. I could name the same for a lot of people. They're in my circle as well as your circle. They've been going through a lot. I mean, you just go on IG, see what people are doing. kind of get a glimpse of people's lives a little bit. Everybody's going through a lot, and then doing a lot, but it's just a busy Friday, and thank God it is Friday, and this Friday now, it's almost like after 4 o'clock, it's the weekend technically, right? Because you get off work, so yeah, you can say the weekend has kind of officially started, but it should be a good weekend. So you had a long week, right, Steve? Before we get into the real topic and getting depth to know, how was your week? Was it pretty okay, or just really busy?
Very, very busy. Lots of overtime, and then like trying to get my workouts in, and then just like a lot of other stuff, man. But I'm not gonna bore you guys with all that.
Yeah,
we
no
can
doubt, no
kinda,
doubt.
we can kind of just hop into it since we're already kind of pressed for time here.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hop in real quick. Again, like I said, guys, definitely busy week. We got a nice episode coming in after this one, so for 45. But for right now, we're kind of like gonna talk about stand-up comedy, a little about some comedy stuff, and hopefully, you guys enjoy it. And if you have any questions or anything, always DM us after the show. During the show, you can comment or also let us know what you want to hear next. So, with further ado, bro, let's kind of just get into the topic, man. Since we're not gonna go very long. So, when we think about comedy, right? What are some of the first things that we think about? I mean, I know for me personally, when I think about comedy, I was thinking about, jokes, funny stuff, Comedy Central, obviously, the channel and all that. I mean, it's we had to dedicate a whole channel to comedy, and for some of the most funny things, obviously, funny content you can go there. But also these days, bro, comedy is easy to find, accessible to find on media, social media, on Facebook, on YouTube. You know what I mean? It's comedy's kind of like everywhere. It's kind of like part of our daily lives. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely, man. We need to laugh. You know what I mean? If you're not laughing, life can get life can get kind of dull sometimes. So sometimes we need some laughs, and comedy kind of brightens that up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was just thinking because me and you talk about the funny stuff all the time, and I was just thinking, I might do it later. I might not. I might do the Joker later. We'll see. We'll see. Pardon me, guys. I just can't stop laughing. I'm already getting, like the comedy's already hitting me. I'm already getting laughs in. Okay. Anyway, so yeah. So when we think about comedy, obviously, you always think about something to laugh about. We think about stand-up comedy, something that comes up with it. Some of the big comedians out there, whether they're stand-up, whether they just do shows and all that. There's a lot of comedians that we follow, a lot of famous ones. Um, what are let me think. What are some of your like comedy specials, bro? Have you been watching some comedy specials lately? And what are like maybe like some of your all-time favorites? But what I've been seeing too many, just a couple, maybe like 3 or 4 that you remember, like of specials and all that. Do you remember any?
I would say one of my favorite like stand-up comedy guys is Dave Chappelle, man. What a classic.
Me too. But go ahead.
Classic, man. Dave Chappelle. I like his old stuff, and I do like his new stuff as well. Somebody I used to like back in the day, Dane Cook. Dane Cook I thought was kind of funny, man, back in the day.
Cook. What the fuck happened to that guy, bro? He's still around somewhere, but haven't heard much from him.
He looks a lot different now, I'll tell you what, but like some of his stuff was really, really funny back in the day. Man, and you got some of the classic like stand-up comedians like there's just a lot of them, man. And like who would you say? I know Dave Chappelle's probably on yours as well, man.
For me, well, all right. So as far as like some stand-up comedy guys, Dave Chappelle is one. Chris Rock, Dane Cook. You said he's actually a pretty good one as well. I feel like I'm missing somebody right now. Joe Rogan, of course. That's 4.
Kevin Hart's good.
Kevin Hart is very good. I mean, he's one of the best. Charlie Murphy, rest in peace, is one of my favorites as well. Eddie Murphy, obviously, his brother. If you don't really know about Eddie Murphy, he's a good comedian, and you never left on him. Maybe you just never lived, or you lived under a rock, or you're born after 2005. Respectfully, I'm just saying, these guys, these guys are pioneers. They're legends. They've been doing this for a while, and it's really no lack of comedians. There's a lot of comedians. I mean, another one I used to. And you can probably relate because again, you're old enough to remember a little bit of you caught a little bit of the tail of like the late '90s, 2000s. But Chris Tucker's another one. Was in a lot of good movies as well, including the Rush Hour movies. And I know a lot of people be like, "Well, I don't think he's funny," or they'll say about Chris Rock back in the day. But honestly, if most people think you're funny, and if you think you're funny, who cares what somebody else says? Maybe they're not funny to them, but maybe they have dry humor. I mean, I'm not gonna compare to what they like to what I like. I know I like Chris Rock. Chris Tucker. If you're trying to think of some other name, another one actually do like what's his name? Joey Diaz, who goes to the Joe Rogan podcast a lot. He's actually a really good one as well. He's been going on for a while. They call him Joey Karate. Dude, you should see. You know what, dude? I'll tell you what. One day, maybe like later on, I'm gonna send you this link. Right? Have you ever heard of Eddie Bravo?
Yeah, I have.
You have? Okay, good. Eddie Bravo, for those who know, is an Mexican American BJJ Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. Sort of like somewhat of a guru. He's a black belt. He's got a school. Revolutionized the guard technique in jiu-jitsu. Is also no-gi, so he's big in no-gi. huge avid smoker, pothead. You know, what I mean, stoner. He's the license to smoke and all. And for those that don't or maybe do know at this point, he's always on a Rogan podcast. So that's his boy from back in the day. Joe Rogan was actually there in Brazil when Eddie Bravo tapped out one of the Gracies. He tapped out a Hoyler Gracie triangle. It was now a completely masterful, epic fight. Like in the BJJ MMA world, it's legendary, bro. It's in the universe of fights, and he's considered like the first American tap out of Gracie. I mean, I believe it, but I don't know if there's any other guy that might have tapped out of Gracie before that. But he was known famously quoted in a sort of like quoted saying or he was kind of like considered the first guy. You know what I mean? He was the title of the first guy to get a Gracie, to tap out a Gracie in our sport, basically, in jiu-jitsu, so in BJJ. So that was a big deal. And now he's always on Joe Rogan's podcast, right? So he has a song called I'm Falling, which I'm going to send you the link to. It's a cool song. You can see it in the video. It's pretty cool. There's UFC fighters in there, celebrities. You can see Joe Rogan. And the video starts with the guy, Joey Diaz, doing those Bob dolls. Maybe it wasn't a Bob doll. Maybe it was just like those water punchy bags. And he's going like this, like the beat is kind of serious, like it's serious beat, and it kind of starts. It sounds a little sinister, then the song starts, and it's like a rock beat, but it's a rock song. And you can see Joey Diaz, aka Joe Carrey, doing this. And he's chopping up the guy, like the.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, it's like the punching bag, and he's like chopping it up, and like he's throwing knife hands, and it's hilarious. For those that do know or don't know, rather, Joey Diaz, aka Joe Carrey, he's a Cuban guy. He looks like a mafia boss. He's been in some TV shows and comedy. He does a lot of stand-up comedy. He does his own podcast. He's barely like this big, but he's a big fat guy, and he's funny as shit. If you don't watch Joe Rogan, I know you watch some episodes, and I'm pretty sure you've seen the one with him because he's always there. It's Joe Rogan, it's Brendan Schaub, who's also a comedian now. Joe Rogan, Brendan Schaub, Ray Bravo, and him, Joey Diaz, and of course Brian Cullen, which we talked about before. Another comedian. Brian Cullen, he's also a comedian / actor. He was in the show Oz. He was in another movie. He was in Friends back in like 90 something. He was in an episode of Friends. He has a cool Boston accent in that episode, but yeah, he's another one. But yeah, so some of my favorite comedians are these guys, and I mean Eddie Bravo's not a comedian, but some of the stuff he says, you'd think he would be a comedian. He's like, the last thing the earth happened. He's like, I went from a guy that would smoke, or I was not smoking. I thought that you guys were losers, to now, like he's just a comedian without really trying. But Joe Rogan's a real comedian, but obviously being Joe's boy, he probably learned a little. So obviously, he's heard all the cool jokes from Joe Rogan. Probably jokes he never even said before. He just tells him, he wrote them down. He probably hasn't shared with the world yet. You will be not wise to share them yet because until he actually says them on stage, and then you can obviously quote them, But I'm pretty sure Eddie Bravo gets some inside jokes, and they all clown around before the podcast starts. Yeah. Everyone doing? One of the most famous podcasts in the world, So yeah. Hang on a second, bro. Let me see. It says Facebook user. I'm not sure what this is. Hey guys! Exclamation point. I'm not sure what that is.
Oh wait, I'll find out.
Yeah, find out. I'm not sure. Maybe it's Nate, or maybe it's your friend wasn't Jesse Rhodes. Nah, that's not. It's not. Anyway, but anyway, what's up, yo? Whoever his Facebook user. I don't know why it says Facebook user. He should say the name, but is that Marius? Maybe. Nah, it's not Marius, right?
I'm trying to see. Let's see. Was somebody commented in?
Yeah, somebody commented in. I see it here, but it just says Facebook user, which is weird. Unless I'm not friends with this person, but I don't think so because it still says the name. It just says it's almost like they.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I know her.
Find out. I'm not sure. Maybe
it's this woman Marlene.
See it here, but it just says Facebook user, which is weird. Unless I'm not friends with this person, but I don't think so because it still says the name. It just says, it's almost like they.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah, I know. It's this woman Marlene.
See it here, but it just says Facebook user, which is weird. Unless I'm not friends with this person, but I don't think so because it still says the name.
It's echoing you.
Your double voices. Sorry about that, guys. It was like there was literally 4 seconds ago. It's just caught the voice. Anyway,
yeah. Unfortunately, you got to mute it. It's the only way.
You might have to mute it, yeah, because it's just too loud. So anyway, so now you say you used to watch a lot of Dave Chappelle. What about some other comedians that you watch, but you follow, and maybe some of their content? Anybody else out there you like? I mean, you said you're into Joe Rogan a little too. You said your brother into Joe Rogan too.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know who I actually like, man? And it's a more of a dark sense of humor. Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson, man. Do you know who Pete Davidson is?
I heard the name.
Yeah. No, he it's kind of messed up, but his dad actually died in 9/11, and he makes like a bunch of 9/11 jokes. It's kind of messed up, but like, he can get away with it though because his dad died.
Yeah, but I mean, how you joke about something when your dad died in? Maybe it's his way of kind of coping with it, being like, I accept it. I mean. It's a hard topic to joke
about. He does it as like a joke. Like he'll be like, okay, all right, let's get over this. He'll like say actual comedy, and then he'll be like, okay, who just came here for the 9/11 jokes? Everybody's like, starts laughing and stuff. It's kind of crazy. I just copied it back to the person. I don't know, man.
Let's make some noise. Come on.
Yeah. No, I know, but I know. What do you think? There's so many comedians, bro. Oh, and you know another good one. She's a female comedian. She's good though. Wanda Sykes. Remember Wanda?
Oh yeah, Wanda Sykes. Yeah, absolutely.
My bro met her. My brother, the guy that he's like my adopted brother, kind of the guy that's in York, PA. He met her. He met her in 2016. No, 2015, I think. But I seen the picture. It was like around the time of the first presidential campaign, the one when Trump and Hillary were going at it, right, for the presidency. And he was doing a lot of work at the time. Like he's doing a lot of political. He's actually a political student. So basically politics is kind of like what he does. But he doesn't. He handles an orphanage for kids. And he met her at some event in DC. I'm like, wow, did you really meet her? He's like, yeah. I was like, yo, she's funny as shit, bro. I was like, yeah, she definitely can tell jokes. He said, and she's a really nice lady too. See, some of the most laid back cool people are comedians because I feel like comedians can be too mad at things, even if they are kind of a little mad. I mean, they're people, obviously, but
absolutely, man. Yeah, no, you have to have it. Yeah, I mean, everybody gets mad. We all have emotions, but I'm people who are like funny. They have like the creative personality. But in terms of stand-up comedy, in terms of how about movies, man? There's so many comedy movies out there. Do you have a favorite actor that's like that probably portrays like a lot of comedic roles? I would say like in the cinema.
Yeah. Good question, bro. Good question. I'm not sure, to be honest. It's a hard one. I don't get to that as well. I know we don't have a lot of time, but we got a little bit. So let's see. As far as actors go, we did mention some comedians that happen to be actors as well.
Oh yeah, of course.
Comedy, but all right. So here's the thing. I'll start with this, and I'll answer the question in a second. So to play a lot of comedic roles, I feel like you have to kind of already be a comedian in a way. Does it make sense? So a lot of them have that background. Now, can somebody like play funny roles who wasn't really a comedian? Sure. Being an actor, you got to play both. Plenty of actors are more on a funny humor, drama, right? But people don't want it to be like, well, why would you put Chris Rock in a drama movie? He's too funny and all that. A guy that I could say that he's not a comedian, but can play some funny movies or roles that I'm not my favorite per se, but one guy that I do like a lot, Joe Pesci. There we go. I said it. Joe Pesci.
Yeah, he's funny.
He can play some good roles. I don't know. He's funny.
You're a funny guy. I'm funny. I'm funny how?
I'm not funny. Tell me, what the fuck? He's like, oh no, he's like, yeah, remember Anthony's like, no, Nick, you got it over on. Whoa, Anthony, hang on. He's like,
he's a big boy.
He's a big boy. Funny how? What did you mean, huh? Funny, man. What a good reference.
Even in like a serious cinema, man, he can still be funny as hell. It's kind of crazy.
He was funny the whole fucking movie, dude. He's like, I said, what did he say? He said, I see this big Irish prick, and he tells me, which one? He's a tough guy. Gonna give me some names? He's like, no, the usual, Minka, Zero, Bing. He's like, let's go talk some today, tough guy. I'm gonna take you in. I'll tell you something. Go fuck your mother. Oh god, man, come on, man, that's too fucking funny, dude. What
even De Niro was like such a clown in some movies, man, like The Fan and stuff. Like even in serious cinema, like dude, like it's like
The Fan. He was just a clown. He was funny because he was like the face you would make, like, oh, hold on, I'm gonna get the ball. He ran after the ball, and the guy got it. He's like, oh, this guy gets lucky. He says he's a hot dogger. He's lucky. What the fuck does it even mean?
I know, dude. It's just
it's so funny. It's so funny about the movie. We'll get into some more movie stuff in a second. We got some time still. But when he started saying in the movie, I remember watching the movie like before I even met you, by the way, because I remember me and you started talking about the movie like last year. I was like, yo, you like the movie? Like, yo, I like it. We start watching clips of it. When he starts saying them thing, I would tell people sometimes, be like, yeah, you're a hot dog. You're just lucky as shit. I would start using that term. I got it from that movie. And I'd be like, what does that mean? I'm like, it's a baseball term. I was kind of like fuck around, which again, that's what he was using in the movie. So that's what I would say. I was like, oh, it's it's an old term. I said from a movie. It just means like you're lucky. You get lucky for no reason. It's like like when a slugger gets lucky and he hits the ball and he's a lucky shot. A lucky bat.
Like stupid luck.
Stupid luck. Bet. Yeah. You know how they say in my language? They say even in English they say like it just says stupid luck. They say that in Albania it's like a joke. Actually, they say the stupid guys get lucky a lot. You ever notice how you see some like ugly ass bull, weird ass dude with a cute ass badass girl? And he's got everything going on for me. Like but he's like so lame and so like he's not all there. Like he might be kind of smart, but he's a little like off, like book smart, but he's not really all there in logic smart. And he'd be like, how the fuck did he get all that? Or how did he get her? Or how did he get in the situation? And they say, not beginner's luck, but stupid luck. Stupid people's luck. Yeah, some people are stupid and lucky too, It just goes that way.
They are, man. It's just kind of how life goes, right?
Exactly. You make your own luck, but not take nothing away from people that just are I mean, got a lot going on for them. Maybe they're lucky because, they got somebody to put them on, but they're not, they're not like high quality men or anything like that.
A lot of times, there's also a lot of people who get lucky because they put themselves in situations where they get lucky.
Yeah.
So
people also success,
Yeah, but there's also I'm saying from working hard. Sometimes you just get lucky, but sometimes you're more likely to get lucky if you are working hard. That it's a weird concept. We could talk about that on a whole nother one. But somebody actually talked about that once, and they kind of put themselves in situations where they have a better chance of getting lucky, maybe per se. But then there's other people that just have dumb luck. They don't do anything to get lucky, and they just somehow get lucky.
If you stay still, nothing's really gonna come to you. Things will just come to you. You got to go there. They do sometimes, but you still got to reach and get them. I always use the perfect example in football. When a quarterback throws a ball, you got to kind of reach and you extend your arms or jump a little. Like yesterday, I forgot who it was. Somebody from the Eagles did a crazy jump, bro. The shot tackle. He jumped just like the guy did in the Super Bowl, and he got tackled. Except the guy yesterday, he jumped on top of one of the Steelers, defense, like the shot tackle him, but he ended up outside, off the line. So I was like, because I was watching the game from the club, from work, of course. I mean, no voice, but I could still watch the game. So I'll say this, that sometimes, bro, it's like that ball in football. Life throws a curvature with that ball. You can either dodge it, and if you need to catch the ball and the opportunities there, you got to kind of catch it. It doesn't just come, like you're running, it just comes and hits you, chest, and you just can't catch it. Nah, dude, you got to go in and catch it. So I use that analogy in football. Same thing in life. You can get lucky, you create your own luck, or you can just be in the right place, right time, and that's kind of another way of getting lucky. But preparation means success. So yeah, there's guys that seem like they're so stupid, but you know what? They're kind of skilled, so you can't, because we don't know the struggle, we don't know what they do to get there. So I mean, sometimes they get things, but some guys get very lucky too, and stupid lucky, and they're hot doggers. So they're lucky.
Hot doggers. Man, hot doggers. What a classic, man.
What a funny thing, bro. Anyway, let's go back to we were just saying
the actors. We were saying about the roles.
Actors,
yeah, perfect example, actually. You were saying some people who do stand-up and they're in movies. Kevin Hart, perfect example. Chris Rock, another one, man.
Chris Rock, these guys Kevin Hart. Dude, even The Rock, who's not really a comedian, he's a wrestler. I mean, a former pro wrestler.
He can have a motivator,
motivational speaker. He's everything. He's definitely somebody you can look up to, we'll look up to him and all that.
Let's make some noise, come on.
Right, but even The Rock kind of some of his movies, he's got some comedy to him. He doesn't do comedies, but some of his movies have funny scenes and roles, and he can he has a good sense of humor. He looks like The Rock, I mean, I can't say if he's a funny guy or not, but he looks like he could be a funny guy, and he could probably play a more comedy, sort of a funny role. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he knows how to be serious, but also be funny. He can turn it on and off.
He's not necessarily a funny guy, in the sense of how we use the word funny guy, and he's not a comedian or even an actor associated with comedy, but he could kind of play the role. Because even if you watch The Scorpion King, there was some scenes that were a little more low-key, a little more funny, So, yeah, real quick before I let you give your turn. Another actor that's not necessarily a comedian but can play comedy, or not even plays comedy. He's actually an action star, and this guy, you definitely know him. But his movies happen to be funny when they're not meant to be funny. Since we're on this kind of mini topic, you know what it is, bro? You're gonna crack up. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh yeah.
Yo, come on, that's my guy, bro. Come on, that's I grew up with Van Damme. But and my boy Anil, Anil, our buddy Anil, he's a huge fan of Van Damme. He always sends me texts with Van Damme gifts of him being like this, dancing. Dude, Van Damme dancing in one, what's the one? I forgot the movie. It might be, I want to say Kickboxer, or maybe it's another movie.
Oh yeah. I think it is. I think it might be.
Like that, like this.
I think it might be. Crazy, man. That's a good one, bro.
Van Damme's movies are. You notice that every one of these movies got some funny fucking humor to it, dude. We gotta watch. Remember, ever watch Universal Soldiers, the first one?
Oh yeah.
Remember the scene that the reporter kind of kidnaps him, and he's like a robot human, doesn't know what he's doing, but he's like a killing machine, and he's really hungry, and if he goes in the heat and overheats, he dies. So he gets one naked, whatever. Then she takes him to the hotel, and they go to the restaurant. They're eating, and he's eating, and she's like, the witch is like, she's like, are you gonna be paying all this? And he's like, he's eating it, and then she's like, pay? He's like, yeah, money, cash, money. Can you pay for this? And he's like, it's really good. And he's like, but he doesn't know, because he's like some kind of cyber. He's a human robot or whatever from the Vietnam War. They were remember they were reprogrammed and they given a different personality, so they're humans, but they act like robots. And then she's like, John, oh shit, we got a Debbie here. He's like, I've been busting my eyes taking the food for you. You gonna eat it or what? He's like, I don't want to hurt you. Like, you gonna hurt me? Haha. And then he tries to grab the food and put it in his face, and he just he hits him, and he kicks all their asses. He beats up 6 guys. But as he does it, just Van Damme kicking somebody's ass, it's just funny somehow. I don't know why, it's just funny. And then how he talks and what he does. Man, there's no scenes in that movie.
Oh yeah, dude, of course.
And who's in that movie? What's his name? Isn't it Ralph Lodren? He played Ivan Drago, played in Expendables as well. He's also
yeah. Thanks for the support, Marlene. She comment down below. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it.
So basically that's it for me as far as like a few actors that are not comedians but can play some roles.
Quick question. I thought you did this AutoZone McCarthy.
No, absolutely, bro. Yeah, it's just in terms of roles, there's like a lot, like comedy's not even just it's not even just comedy's not even just it's not even just stand up, like you said. It's like we got movies, we even have music that's kind of funny too. Like there's like a lot of different television shows, not just movie actors, TV actors, shows. And there's all different types of comedy, right? Like this is an episode that we could like honestly branch out into multiple parts, but there's all different types of
we did it like that, right? Because we don't have too much time to go into specifics, so let's kind of keep it broad like we will need it. And obviously Tommy's not really on our side. Actually, we got about 10 minutes, 10
minutes. So we're gonna keep it short just due to restrictions today. But obviously, this is something we tease. Like we bring in the intro to comedy, and then like there's all different types of comedy. If you've seen TV shows, there's comedy where it's just like outright just joking around funny, and then there's like it's like a different type of funny. If you ever watch The Office, it's a different type of like comedy. There's all different types. But yeah, who's another really, really funny actor, of course, and of course you know who he is, Jim Carrey, man. Classic. He's a goofball though, man. He's a super, super goofball.
Well, very nice guy.
He can make crazy face gestures and stuff, and like he's just like a goofball funny, like the tongue out, like it's man.
Like, Jim Carrey. How did I forget about Jim Carrey? One of my favorites from the 90s. You know the thing with Jim Carrey? You know what the thing with him is? He's also been he's been a little, I guess you say, out the limelight a little bit. But I fuck with Jim Carrey heavy, and I think that if more men in the world were like Jim Carrey, the world would be a better place. I think bro. I don't want to like say you have an idea because I think you do have an idea, but bro, I know you probably seen like a little. This man is all on like a mission to be like a better man. He's such a spiritual, high value, high conscious type of guy, bro. Always good vibes, always just trying to do positive. Says things is as real as fuck. Like honestly, Jim Carrey, if he was a comedian or an actor, he could easily be like one of those guys, like those conscious videos, guys, what do you call them? Like a mentor, like my man Billy Carson, who does Forbidden Knowledge. Billy Carson is one black guy that he's got always a suit on. A lot of people follow him. I don't know if you follow him, but you probably should though. He does a lot of Forbidden Knowledge, all kinds of like stuff from being an entrepreneur to how the world works monetary wise to like brain waves to the flat earth theory, all of it. But he's like on point, and he's not on his theory BS shit. Never mind all that. I love Eddie Bravo, but he said some funny shit about that on the Rogan podcast. But Billy Carson talks about some good stuff, bro. And I love celebrities follow him. Sometimes, once in a while, you'll catch me in my stories, post something, like repost it from his, I'll just like share it to my story. Then you'll see the bottom, a little bottom here from Forbidden Knowledge. But that's him, Billy Carson, aka Forbidden Knowledge on IG. Very famous guy. I feel like people that are watching right now, who might be watching this later, definitely know what I'm talking about. Because he's up there, like people know who he is. And yeah, he's a great content maker. So Jim Carrey kind of falls a little. He has stuff like that, but he's a comedian, obviously, and obviously Jim Carrey. So we know him as being a goofy guy, a funny actor, comedian, actor / I don't know. Was he ever a stand-up comedian? I don't want to say that he was, but was he?
I don't know. He might have did some stand-up.
He might have. A lot of us started with stand-up comedy. Kevin Hart started with stand-up comedy, but Kevin Hart making movies in 2004, and he was younger then, and he was always short, but like he would be in videos. If you remember, he was in Fat Joe's video from Lean Back. So like I remember Kevin Hart like all that, like back in the day. Yeah, I'm Kevin Hart. He said these guys are going like this. Pew 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 pew. Like,
was he really? He was in back in the day, really?
Yeah. He was in hold on. Scary Movie 3 and I want to say 4.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. He was in a couple of those, and he played a couple like big roles.
Son, where'd you find this?
Good one. He was in what's the movie called? You ever watch Soul Plane? Speaking of comedy, it's a comedy movie with all the rappers.
Oh yeah, of course.
Snoop Dogg, right? Who hasn't watched it? He's the pilot. Kevin Hart was in that movie. He's the guy. He's like the main protagonist. He's like the guy that like he makes money because of an accident. Then he does his own airline. He has his own plane, and he has other people. Sofia Vergara's in there. Lala's in there. From the 50 Central Power. Lala, she's like a host, sexy ass.
Yeah, of course.
Method Man's in that. Tom Arnold, speaking of comedy, another comedian.
Oh wow, yeah.
Arnold, big ass forehead. He's a good actor. He was in He was in a movie with DMX and Jet Li, Cradle to the Grave. Tom Arnold.
Oh, that's a classic, man. That's a classic.
He liked the movie a lot. I was watching the other night. He actually came on. I forgot what he was at, but I was watching him. I was in my man crib watching that shit. I was like, oh shit, Cradle to the Grave. I got it on DVD, of course, but I got most of the DMX movies. But that's a good one too. Obviously not a comedy, but see again, very serious action movie with a rapper and a kung fu star and all about street stuff and there's fighting in there. But they added the comedy. They got Anthony Anderson, who's a comedian, and they got Tom Arnold. You see what I'm saying? Serious movies can have small parts of comedy in there. You can like see this because you can't make movies too serious. Just like comedies got some small twists to it. Sometimes it's a dark comedy. It could be a horror comedy. It could be a horror movie with a comedy. You feel me? Or even like a drama comedy a little bit. Dramatic comedy they call them. So, I see.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So,
dude, there's just so much you can get into.
Stephen Ushler always. Ushler always.
I know. Yeah, I said that. Yeah, that, and it was a response. Yeah, but honestly, what's your favorite type of comedy? Like, do you have like a certain type of humor that you like?
Honestly, bro, I just love comedy. I probably never said it because I know we spoke about movies in the past. I never really put all my movies out there. But I mean, as far as comedy, like I like different genres, as you already know. Comedy-wise, I like family comedy. I like just like pure comedy, like with a little twist to it. I like some dark comedy too, or even like a dramatic comedy. I like more like comedies. Got to do like like a comedy movie. Got a little action to it, or an action movie, some comedy to it too. If that makes sense, I mean, or vice versa. I like that too. Honestly, I know that you think comedy and drama are kind of opposites, and comedy and action kind of don't really match. But I mean, again, if every Van Damme movie could throw some laughs, it doesn't get more action than that. Or a movie with DMX and Jet Li, So there's ways to put some comedy in action movies. So yeah, I mean, family comedy. I like kids comedy too. I still, I can still watch a movie that probably me and you watch when we're like young age, young years. I can still watch it these days. It never hurts to watch it. I mean, I can't think of any like movies like that off the top right now. I'm just thinking like, I mean, all right, The Sandlot is a kid movie. It's about bass, but it's a great fucking movie. And it's a comedy.
It is, man. Yeah, it's still a comedy. There's a lot of funny stuff. Honestly, I like a lot of different comedies too. I would say like I definitely do like dark humor though as well. You know what I mean?
Stupid.
For sure.
Yeah. What is all comedy in the world? Some people come. Oh yeah. What about like some rappers? Talk about it real quick. There's a lot of rappers that actually use comedy. What are some of your favorite top comedy type of rappers that can make comedy, or just something funny in real life that you probably know about? Can you?
I'm not gonna lie. 50 Cent's hilarious on Instagram. How he roasts people.
He's definitely a funny guy. His music is not like that. He might, but you know what it is though? He says a lot of funny lines and slick lines in his music too, though. Like to what do you say? To make it up, I do whatever it takes. I love you like a fat kid loves cake.
He's like Coca-Cola. He's like, I took a quarter water. I forget. It's like for $2. Coca-Cola came and sold it. They sold it to beans. What the fuck? It's like have a baby.
Have a baby by me, baby millionaire.
Be a millionaire. I read the check before the baby comes. Who the fuck cares?
That's hilarious. Yo, they're talking about it on a Rogan podcast. It's funny you reference that song in that line because they were like, it was an episode Rogan talking about what's it about? Oh, it was about cars and like money. And he said he went to a place to buy a car, and a rapper was there buying. He had his bag full of money, full of cash, and bought a really nice Rolls Royce. So, and then somehow they talking about 50 Cent. He came up and he's like, the guy that was in an episode with Joe is like, well, if he's getting, because he's like, this is around the time 51 broke, or allegedly he was bankrupt, which he really wasn't, back in like 2016, like 4 or 5 years ago. And he was like, the guy was like, well, if 50 Cent gets sued by women in child support, they thought it was child support. It actually wasn't, because he got sued for it too, but he was paying the child support with his first, I guess, baby mama or whatever. And they were like, the guy was like, the comedian that was there, Joe Rogan said, maybe you should have a line saying, have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire. I write the check before the baby comes out. Who the fuck cares? If he didn't say that, girls wouldn't go after him and he wouldn't get super child support. I was like, that's a good point. But I mean, when he wrote that song and that lyric and he actually made that song, I'm pretty sure he didn't give a fuck then. Obviously everything comes back later, and and now he's like, he's making more shows, got a TV show, got a girlfriend. No, he don't give a fuck about child support. And he's still funny. What he puts, so he's a funny rapper, not music wise, but he has some lines. But I mean, I guess you could say 50 Cent. I mean, you could consider him kind of like a funny guy because I mean, he is hilarious and he clowns around a lot. But then again, he's as serious as he gets. What about somebody else? Who else you might think? Like, I mean, give me another rap. I know you said somebody else at the top right now. That's kind of funny.
There's definitely a lot. 50's funny on like Instagram. I would say on like in real life. So I'm not gonna lie. Snoop Dogg's kind of funny.
Yeah, like songs and shit. Okay, so Snoop Dogg, there goes one. All right.
You know who writes like crazy? Let me think. Soldier Boy songs used to just be kind of funny.
Yeah, he's definitely funny. The music is funny. He's funny. Soldier Boy's a good one. They put Soldier on there.
Dude, some of his songs were like they were so dumb. It was like one of them was like, "Girl, you stink, take a bath." I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Songs about that, man.
Yeah, bitch, yeah, bitch, yeah.
Yeah, trick, yeah.
Can we hit that applause button real quick? The applause button. So can you hit it real quick?
What's that?
Can you hit the applause button real quick?
Oh yeah.
Right. Let me think. All right, bro. Let me just go a few and say a few.
Yeah, we only got a couple minutes left.
So we can do like the closing end and.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out, man, and I'm not going to go too much in depth into it. We can cover this on another one. But, man, did you ever notice, like, stand-up comedy back in the day, they used to make fun of their wives more than anything? Remember in, like, Goodfellas, he's like, I always take my wife out, and she always throws her way back home. Yo, like, old school, like, comedy. They used to grill their wives, man. More than anything. Bro, it's a different time.
We don't think we have time to say some jokes. Actually, we should crack some jokes. We can do another one. We can do a second, because comedy is a good topic. Yo, remember they're watching the show, and he's like, my wife's asking me, where are you trying to go? For his vacation, I say, try the kitchen.
Dude, yeah, back then, because it was like women. It was
cool to find your eyes in a nice, not in the derogatory way, but see now, because marriages are so much like such a mess and relationships are different now, I guess. And of course, it's a really sensitive world. If you make fun of your wife, they'd be like, oh, well, you make fun of his wife. Back then, it was more of a joke because wives could take it, and it was like, it was really harmless. It was really harmless, joking. It was never like really going in at your wife. Of course, those mobsters and big guys, they have wives and girlfriend and mistresses. That's that's a fact, but that's besides the whole point. But yeah, you're right. They will definitely make fun of their wives. Sometimes the women, they'll make fun of their own friends, their own
like house, because they were all housewives, you know what I mean?
Right. And back then it was the thing, those comedy guys, I mean, that's what they'll go to comedy shows and they'll go watch like Bogart or like, just like those, those like shows and the rest, like even in Goodfellas Scarface. Remember the guy with a big mask head? He's like this, he's like dancing with the girl, and then they did the shootout happen.
He's like I like political. He's like Humphrey Bogart. I grew up watching him. Remember at the beginning when he's like getting interviewed by like the
guys, Humphrey Bogart, James Connie. They teach me to talk. Where'd you learn this English language, Tony? He's like, I watched my old mate thinking of movies. I watch those guys. Humphrey Bogart. He said James Connie. Teach me to talk. Teach me to talk. You have any record, Tony? No. He's like, what about homosexuality, Tony? You like men, eh? You like just like a woman? He's like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Just answer the question, eh, guy? No, fuck no. Where you get the scar tough guy? You need pussy? He's like,
I kind of get a scar like that, eating pussy.
He's like, it was a fight, man. You should see the other guy, eh? Can't recognize him. Yeah, he was so funny. Yo, that was funny too. Like the way you kind of laugh a little, like make little faces. Like, yo, Al Pacino's great, bro. The intro to Scarface. He made me want to watch Scarface now. See, Scarface did some funny quotes, and he's like, I get women is the secret to women. He said. He's like, what the fuck was that, man? What the fuck was that, man?
First you get the money, then you get the girls. But
you get the power.
Yeah, guys, unfortunately we gotta wrap up in like next minute because we're honestly kind of pressed for time today due to scheduling conflicts, but we're definitely gonna do some more comedy in the future, man.
I think it's a good one, but I actually enjoyed this a lot more.
I actually give you the shout out for this one, man, because you were the one who kind of thought of the comedy topic today. So man, shout out to you. Shout out to you on that one, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. I'll take the shout out. Oh, wait, before we leave, so real quick, another rapper, bro, because since you kind of mentioned a few, I kind of agree with you. For me as well, 50 Cent is one. Eminem for sure, because he always had funny music. Soulja Boy and Snoop. Maybe even Redman. Redman is some comedy a little bit. Like, Redman, he was kind of like a thumb goofy. But so is Method Man. See, a lot of those guys can be really goofy, but be taken serious and make good songs. So, yeah, just want to say that. Eminem always had good, funny music. His freestyles are funny. Yo, real quick, let me quote a little Eminem quote. He said, with the Christopher Reeves beefs, I think we started off in the wrong foot. Or should I say, fake foot made out of wood. Get it? He used to talk about Christopher Reeve back in the day. And I mean, I know he died, but even after he died, he never really went in and like, because I think Eminem kind of stopped making fun of him after he died, but it was never really nothing bad with Christopher Reeve, and he said fake foot made out of wood. Get it? Because he'll say that like something about Slim, something about Christopher Reeve's legs. Hey, remember that? Christopher Reeve wasn't moving at the time, and then he started getting out of the coma. He actually couldn't move his legs, and he died like a few years later. So, because he was paralyzed for years, then he actually got normal, but then he died after that. True. So, because he was like, I killed Superman, I killed Luther. He had a song. Man, Eminem was funny as shit back. He still
Yeah,
lives,
he
though.
was, man.
Yeah. So I think that kind of concludes this this episode, bro. It's about 5:01.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah,
to
we just hit the 40-minute mark, so I think it's a good place to wrap up.
Yeah, right now. Wow, that was your perfect time. You said 40 minutes, 39:59, and then boom, 40 seconds.
Right on the dot, guys.
Right
Yeah,
on the
'cause
dot.
unfortunately, we're on like one appointment to the next. Like we're busy guys today, so it's like we're just trying to. Yeah, so unfortunately, guys, we got to kind of wrap it up. And thank you to everybody that was kind of tuning in. I feel like Fridays people tune in more. I don't know what it is, but
Friday mornings. I mean, excuse me, sorry, I said wrong. Friday afternoons are not bad, honestly. Like, I mean, not every Friday, but if you could do one 3 to 4 on Friday every now and then, as long as they know in advance, we could do one. I mean, I'm okay with that.
Absolutely. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up here because we're kind of like on one thing to the other. But guys, thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back next week. I know we were supposed to have a guest this week. I know I said that last week. Just want to clear it up that the guest will be coming on next week. Had a little bit of a scheduling conflict this past week, unfortunately, because we had to go live on Friday. We could not on Thursday. The guest could not make it. So who will be on next week, guys? Thank you all for tuning in, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather. I think it's supposed to be kind of nice. I'm not sure if it's supposed to rain a little bit tomorrow.
It's going to be very nice until Sunday's going to be back in the 80s. Right now, it's actually, I believe it's even more than that. Or yesterday was. Yesterday, when I'm in the club, bro, inside, because, I'm a doorman sometimes, it's nice. You walk outside just for a second, and you feel that heat. It's like Alaska to, like, Panama. It's, like, hot and cold.
Yeah,
cold and hot. Because it's cool inside, but it's really hot outside, bro. I'm like, Mom. And then it gets dark, but the night's still kind of hot. I mean, so, yeah. Just stay warm, guys. Drink water. Take your time. Definitely follow us on IG and Facebook, and of course, the Facebook Live this is connected to Facebook and YouTube Live,
Absolutely.
YouTube and all that, and definitely more stuff on the market and more stuff coming up, guys. And enjoy the summer, and we'll see you guys next week. But I'll talk to you probably tomorrow, man. So it was a good episode, short but good. So
absolutely. Well, all right, guys. Have a great night, and we'll see you again next week.
All right, guys. Take it easy, guys.
Take care, bro.
Get the rest. All right.
Exactly.
All right, bro. I'm gonna talk to you later. Good stuff, man.
Later, brother.
Later. Bye-bye.